So this is a revision video for AQA GCSE Geography, Paper 1, Section B, Living World, and this case study is an example of a small-scale UK ecosystem. And our example for that is Witton Park in Blackburn. So first of all, if we link to the specification, so this is at the beginning of the Living World spec, and we're looking at an example of a small-scale UK ecosystem. So first of all, some keywords and key info. So definition of what is an ecosystem. So an ecosystem is a natural system made up of living, which we call biotic, and non-living, which we call abiotic components. So ecosystems can be small scale, so local, such as, for example, a pond or a local woodland, and they can also be global scale, such as biomes. An example of that is tropical rainforest, which obviously we find in many continents across the world. So first of all, looking at our example, where is Witton Park? So Witton Park is located to the west of Blackburn town, and obviously Blackburn is Lancashire, northwest of the UK. So the UK's biome is what we call a temperate climate. So this means that it lies between the polar and the tropic regions at approximately 60 degrees. So we are a temperate climate, which means we have seasons, we have quite relative, warmish summers, and quite moderate winters. So the different sort of local ecosystems that we can find at Witton Park is we've got deciduous woodland, grassland, a freshwater river, as the River Darwen, and a freshwater pond, which is the Lily Pond. So we're going to have a look at the Lily Pond in a little bit more detail. So here we have a nice picture to give an example of what a lily pond or a pond ecosystem would potentially look like. And here we have our freshwater pond food chain and also a freshwater pond food web. So we've got our producer at the bottom and then obviously our consumers following up from there. So now we're going to have a look at what could cause changes to the Witton Park ecosystem. So these can be split into human changes and natural changes. So first of all, looking at human changes, we've got our global scale changes such as climate change. And we can have also local scale human changes. And these, for example, could be changes to habitats. For example, removing a hedgerow or draining some of the water from the pond or chopping down some of the trees. And then we've got natural changes, and these are ones that humans have no control over. So things like an extreme weather event, like a very hot summer, which can cause things like drought and cause ponds and lakes to potentially dry out. So many of you will have seen this image before, and this is from the textbook, and it's looking at some of the sort of small-scale human changes to an ecosystem, all of which could quite easily be applied to Witton Park. So then we've got an exam question here, using a named example. So our named example would be Witton Park. Describe and explain. So you're saying what it is and how that human activity could change a small-scale ecosystem. So you could talk about many of the different human activities that we've mentioned.